Okay, so here I am today. I am going to be cleaning this tennis court here. Essentially what we're going to try and do is just clear off the organic matter and get it back to a clean surface. I'm going to blast out some of the weeds and stuff here so the owner can do some patching. But you can see an example spot here of where he tried to pressure wash it. And you can see a little bit of the damage where he started to rip off whatever this coating is for the tennis court slash basketball court here. So my process today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the surface head over first. So I got two options here. Essentially, I could put a little bit of house wash, which is just a bit of bleach and soap down, kill all the organic matter, all the organic matter, and then run the surface head over it, pressure wash it, and it should come up nice and clean. Or I can use, if there's a lot of dirt buildup, usually it's better to do the pressure wash it first and then spray it down with some bleach after the fact, and then kind of rinse that off. So I think I'm going to start with that. And you can see there's some spots on here are pretty rough. But I've got water going into the truck and trailer. What I'm going to try and do is show you the whole process. I just pulled up and connected the water supply and talked with the owners of the house. That's pretty much it. I'll show you the whole process of getting everything else set up. Before I do that, I got to try and find a way to share this link. So bear with me 1 second while I do that. I'm going to set it up on a little tripod here and move it around. I've got an extra battery. Okay, we're in the tripod. Let's get this battery connected. Okay, so that's kind of the setup. I've got before pictures. Share, here we go. Copy. Share. Let's do it to my wife on Allo. There we go. Okay, so if I go away from the screen, I guess, I don't know if it disconnects it or not. But yeah, anyways. One other thing I want to do as well. Can I pause it? There's no pause. Okay. So, keep trying. I just want to post it on here. I'll give you a shot of the trailer filling up. How exciting is this? So we're a bit over a third. Oh, I don't have that. Yeah, actually, we're gonna try turning on hotspot. Okay, hotspot is on. Wi-Fi. Okay. Connected. On YouTube. Live, cool. I can see myself. To share this, copy link. Yeah, no worries. Got it. Submit. Okay, so that's done. All right, so first thing, what do we want to do? First things first, we got a couple things we got to do. I have to set up the surface head here for bar on it. So this is a surface head. Essentially, it is a bar with a couple nozzles on it, and it spins really quickly in a circle. And this way what happens, or what it allows you to do, is kind of mow and run over an area, and it gives you the exact same pressure across. Now one thing, because we've seen on the test spot where they actually stripped a bit of the material, what we want to do is ensure the pressure that we're washing with is correct to the surface, so we don't want to do any damage. So I'll show you how to do that. 1 second, I'm going to get another bar. Okay. So the existing bar I have on there is, let me see if I can frame this properly here. There we go. The existing bar I have on there is tipped out for about 3,000 PSI coming from my machine. I don't want to hit that surface with 3,000 PSI. I likely want to drop it anywhere from maybe 500 to 1,000. So what I'm going to do here is spin off this bar. Show you on this bar here, you can see, I don't know if it's going to be able to focus on that. Probably go out in the sun here. So you can see it's got 2 nozzles on it, and they read 40025 and 2502. So I actually have 2 different fan tips on here. 40 is the degree of the fan.
Sorry?
Yeah, no worries. I'm just explaining kind of what I'm doing here.
Oh, right.
So
yeah, that's quite the machine, eh?
Yeah,
wow.
so this is a surface head. Essentially, it's
Yeah.
a bar, spins really quickly.
Okay.
And so rather than kind of pressure washing side to side,
Yeah.
right, because everywhere your arms kind of swing up, you have a different pressure that you're hitting the surface with.
Right.
Right? What this does is allows an even pressure, so you can
Yes.
hit large surface areas rather quickly. You kind of mow it.
Yeah.
But then what
Yeah,
else you can
right.
do too is I can control my tip size. And what
Yes.
that does is it controls the pressure that hits the surface.
Okay.
So a bigger tip, I don't hit the surface with too much force, because you
Yeah.
can see where you're on did a test on it.
Yeah.
You stripped a bit of it off.
Yes.
So by adjusting your pressure, you can get the dirt and everything up
Great.
without doing any damage.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to change out the tips on this.
Quite fine tuning thing.
It's, yeah, I think on a chart here, it kind of, my machine's 8 gallons a minute, so I figure out the flow, I figure out how much pressure I want, and then
Right.
I can change it to the different nozzle size,
Depends,
just
yeah.
based on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
Great.
one method of controlling how much
That's-
pressure you use.
That's so good because this has just been kind of abandoned over the years.
Yeah, like you're going to be, I think,
We don't have
pleasantly
time.
surprised
Yeah.
how clean it comes out.
Oh, it's going to look great.
Yeah,
And
and then,
inspire us to play tennis. We didn't build it, it was here already. but
yeah.
We don't have to spend the time to look after it.
Yeah.
Let alone-
Well, I'll show you on too, like,
Yeah.
once we get it to a clean slate, for
Yes.
18, it's not that bad really. No
That's the key. Is
big
to
big
say-
pool shock to stuff that you put in your pool,
Yeah.
right? To get it from green to clear.
Yes.
Just mix a bit of that with some soap, just bring it over the surface. And now get
Yeah.
That's the trick to it.
Because the problem we have is with the leaks. They come down and
Yeah,
fall.
they'll
and
sit
then-
there and they leach
Yeah.
out tannic acid and that kind of
Exactly.
stains it, and then anywhere
Yeah.
like you don't get enough
Yeah,
air
it
movement
gets
through.
slippery.
Yeah,
Yes.
this much sunlight, you get growth and
Yeah. Well, actually, I broke my wrist on this thing. I
Yeah.
was playing baseball with my son, and it had been raining, and it was slippery. You'll see. I'm glad it's not wet now. I was going to say be careful.
Yeah.
Because and it was just really slimy. I hit the ball, stepped back, and just smashed it, and
Really?
had to have it pinned and
That's rough,
everything.
yeah.
Then I've got lymphedema in this arm, so now I have two funky arms. But yeah, so it was just completely slimy and
Yeah.
all the leaves and the wet weather and everything. So yeah.
That'll be good. Yeah, it'll be good to get it clean for you guys.
Yeah, so I was going to say, if it's wet, be careful, but it's
Yeah, no
dry,
worries.
thank
That's
goodness. So,
every job I do, it gets a little wet, so I got
Yeah.
nice boots in there with some grip on them.
Yeah, so just be careful of that slime because it does damage.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's great. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Thanks.
Now keep the door closed because the dog will just bark at you otherwise.
Not a
so
problem. Yeah, thanks.
Just holler if you need anything.
Okay. So on this bar here, you can see it is tipped out for 2. I've got one plugged, and it reads 40055. So the first 2 numbers are the degree of the fan, where 25 degrees is like that, 15 degrees, 40 degrees, 60 degrees. You can change it depending on that. 055 is the orifice size, which is the size of the tip. I don't want to get into all that right now, but essentially, actually, I can show you quickly. I think I might want to change where this is all set up here, so you can maybe see me a little bit better. So if I go here, that into there. Stuff here. How's that if I talk to the camera? Whoa, kick it. Okay, that's not bad. All right. Okay, so very quick lesson on orifice size. So here I have 2 white tips for the pressure washer. And a lot of people think, okay, I'll just put the white tip on and it's a bigger fan than the yellow or the green tip. Orifice size is what actually matters. Rather than pressure on a unit, so they advertise, oh, it's 3,500 or it's 1,000, 1,900 psi, whatever. Once you get into this, all that actually really matters is flow rate. That's the bigger factor. And if you have more flow, you need a bigger orifice size at the same pressure. So you're pushing more water out of the pump. So I'll just show you quickly. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera or not. So there's 2 white tips here. These are both 40-degree fans. So you can see this one says 40035. This one says 40085. So this is an 8.5 orifice. This has a 3.5 orifice, right? And if I show you here, this is the 3.5 orifice tip. Where's the, maybe I can just put it up to the camera. No, anyways. So you can see here, let's see, maybe if we go this way. There we go, okay. See that size of the hole there? Right, that's 3.5 compared to 8.5 orifice. And look, let's see if it'll focus again. Come on, you bugger. Da-da-da. Yeah, this is brutal. I lost my focus here. There we go. Okay. Okay, well, we lost it. Anyways, the 8.5 orifice is a much bigger hole than the 3.5, right? It's the same fan, but this is pushing a lot more water through at the same pressure. What you can do is if you have, for me, I've got an 8-gallon-a-minute pump, right? I couldn't even put this orifice size on there without actually putting too much pressure and stressing the pump out. The 8.5 orifice size is what the pump is rated for. If I put anything bigger, what then happens is a drop in pressure. So essentially you consult a chart like this. It's got PSI at the top. It's got your standard nozzle size, your orifice size, right? And then it's got your gallons per minute along here. So for example, this is 3,500 PSI machine, 3,500 pump at 8 gallons a minute, so it's 795. Where did that go? 3,500, 795. This is why I use an 8.5 orifice, right? If I put a 10 orifice on that, right, what ends up happening at between 7 and 8 gallons per minute, we're now down to between 1750 and 2000 psi. So by putting 1.5 degree larger orifice on it, I've dropped the pressure about 1500 psi. So that's kind of that. Lots of videos if you want to see that, or just send me a message if you've got any questions about it. All of that is essentially just to get into the fact here. This is now tipped out for a 10.5 orifice size, right? Which if I consult this, drops my PSI down to about 2,500. I want to go even lower than that. So what I'll try and do is tip it out for maybe 12 to 15, depending on what kind of tips I have in here. Six. This is a 6. Five is a 5 tip. That. 65 and 45. Less one I've got on there. Now I could put 4 45s on there. Which is gonna be what, 9 and 9. We're talking about some dip inside. Where is enough? That's a good question. The easiest way maybe is to do a test. What I can do maybe is we're going to try this bar on its own first and see if around 1750, 2000 psi is enough. Or not enough, it's enough pressure for the surface without doing damage. So what I'll do is, in the same area he did the test, I'll just do a quick test myself. And if I like how it looks, then we'll continue on. Otherwise I'll add, or I'll switch up a couple tips. I don't want to touch this bar because I use this every day for concrete. But I don't mind switching out my backup bar there. Okay, a little bit of Teflon tape. You don't want to kill these. That's why you just got the wrench in there. This just goes hand tight kind of thing. If you get 2 wrenches in there and just ream on it, you're gonna strip threads. And you're not gonna have a good day. Good, okay. So got that done. I'll put this there for now. And let's do a quick test. in order to test it, I'm going to run pressure line for the pressure washer. So I'm going to put on 100 feet, maybe just short, maybe 100 feet and then a little whip. So I'm going to show you how that's done. Oh no. We almost lost battery there. So this is the pressure line I have here. Essentially, you always got to run it out full length. Okay. That's 100 feet. 100. Ooh. We just put a whip on. 200 feet. Oh, there we go. Okay. We are back live again. I ran out of battery for my phone. I had it plugged in, but I didn't have the thing. But look, we got an upgrade now. Now we have unlimited battery for the phone. So what I was saying, ran the pressure line, and then I put on the end of it a pressure tip. Now essentially what this does is allows me to open and close the pressure valve. I can switch from the surface head back to a gun without turning the machine on and off. The other thing I was doing is just running chemical lines. So because I'm going to spray, I would say, a significant surface area with the size of the tennis court, I can use a pump up sprayer and then spray like that. So that's going to take a while. So I've got chemical pumps in the truck, or just electric pumps. And I'll just make a big reservoir of the solution and allow me to kind of spray a large area without a lot of physical work. So I'm just running the chemical lines right now. And then we'll do a test. And then I'll mix the batch of product, I'll get all dressed up, and then we'll do some cleaning. Okay, here's some more chemical hose. One thing I do So I've got 1/2-inch quick connects for my chem line. I tape them because I find that if I'm pulling into the hose, I can actually, because it's not really under a lot of pressure, knock them off and then starts spraying chemical everywhere. House wash is not too bad, but when you got acids in there, it's not the funnest thing in the world. Okay. Chem lines are run. Okay, how's our water? Water tank's almost full. Let's do a test spot here. Check our pressure levels. I'm just going to get suited up. Okie dokie. Safety glasses. I'm going to set up a GoPro time lapse as well. I just need to place it. This as well. So I'm making this all up as I go, if you can't tell. Okay, now the GoPro is right there below the camera, and should make some interesting footage. Okay. There we tried that before. Alright, so I'm gonna move this to the test area. Okay, so you can see where they've already done a test spot, so we're going to do it right beside. The chem hose out of the way for now. The pressure hose out of the way. Here. One thing I forgot to mention is I'm going to be using heat. Move this back a little bit. There we go. I'm going to be using heat today, which will help make everything go a little bit quicker, give a little bit more energy for the bleach to work. I'm going to turn on, do a test. Here we go. Okay. Just gonna wait for the heat to come out. And that should be good. So what I want to look out for is any damage. So I'm going to try to turn on the surface head, do a little area, and just see if I'm stripping any of the surface coating. I'll flip the surface head up so you can see what it looks like underneath. Okay, so take a peek here. You can see what we did. Move this over here. Okay, rotate device, whatever. Okay, you can see where they did the test area over here. This was the damage. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Focus. That was the damage where they stripped off some of the surface. This is what I've been doing, and I don't think it's stripping off anything in terms of any of the small markings here. There we go, focus. That looks probably all existing stuff that's on there. It doesn't have the same sort of pattern as you can see as the strips here where he's pressure washing it and then hit it a bit too much. So we're gonna do this down there. So we'll get this all set up. We'll get the time lapse going on the GoPro. I'm just gonna do a quarter of it at a time. One thing you gotta keep in mind when I'm using the surface head is have to make sure I don't hit any high spots and rip off the tips that are on there. I'm gonna go back this up a little bit. Frame that. There we go. Okay. I'm actually going to start on the far side. Usually with the surface head, actually, you know what, I'll work away from the camera. Or work towards the camera, what's the best way? Because the hose is on one side of it, you kind of have to think out a little bit of how you want it to run, so you're not stepping over the hose or moving it constantly. I'm just gonna go up and down, starting from that line over there, and just move it into the middle. Is the water gonna go on the battery? Let's start on the other side, actually. Okay, we'll start right here. I'm gonna go up and down. Got to start the GoPro. Okay, here we go. Here goes nothing. Not enough hose. Okay, I'm gonna rinse that off so you can see what it looks like. Okay, how we doing? Okay, I'm gonna rinse off this guy. So just run the surface head up and down half of the end here. And we haven't even put any product on yet, so I'm not too worried about getting a perfect job in terms of if there's still some organic matter left. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna rinse it off so you can see what it looks like. You'll still see patches of organic matter. We're gonna clean that up when we treat it with some product after. Okay, be right back. I'm just getting a rotary. Okay. So, plastic joint here, what I'm going to do is use a rotary tip, which essentially is a pinpoint nozzle, spins really quickly in a circle. I'm going to blast out all the debris that's in all the cracks, right? And then once I've done that, I'm going to show you, I'll lift up the camera and I'll show you all the different spots that I see. So we've just hot pressure washed it, right? It is not nearly as clean as it could be, and I'll show you why. Partly I want to see how well it works myself. Now the rotary tip might damage the surface on the edges of the cracks, but we're going to put patching material here anyway, so that's not a big deal. Okay, switcheroony. My phone keeps dying, so if it keeps doing that, then I'm going to switch devices here. We got the GoPro going, so we'll have some time lapse, but it's at 19% right now. We'll see how it does. It's literally dying while plugged in.